Welcome to Project LOCRATES. This episode I'm talking a little bit about evolution. If what you're doing right now is getting old to you, it might be in your best interest to do some other shit. So for me, making beats has been a thing I've been doing for about the last 10 years. So about 15 years ago, I got my first single on a CD, and I realized there's instrumental and a cappella on that CD of the single. Having played around with Windows Movie Maker in the past, I used to chop up like Dragon Ball Z videos and put NWA music behind it and make it look like they're rapping the song, you know. So having known how to use that program, after discovering that CD singles have instrumental and a cappella version of the song, I would import the instrumental into Windows Movie Maker, chop it up, and in Movie Maker you've only got two channels, you know, so you can blend audio together by dragging it across and cross-fading it over the other one, kind of. So what I'd do is get bits of one beat, add it to another beat, and then get an acapella and chuck it on. And to do this, you had to render two channels into one, import that, add the other one to that, import that, and add the acapella with that new import, render that, and after a while you get like an MP3. About 4 years after that, got my hands on Ableton Live and pretty much self-taught how to make songs from scratch. So I started sampling the traditional way, like getting sounds from other songs, chopping it up and making my own beats out of that. Straight away I had a particular sound. I realized this. I was like, oh cool. My first real beat I made within my first week of learning how to use Ableton. Instantly I knew what my vibe was. Now, your vibe can evolve over time, and it will evolve over time. So over the years I stuck to more traditional hip-hop, so a lot of samples, a lot of upbeat stuff designed for rappers. About maybe 5 or 6 years of doing that, we decided to slow it down, and I think I found the passion again in music by doing that. I slowed it down, essentially turning my music into a form of trip hop, which is English, or from Bristol in England, an English version of like East Coast boom bap hip hop. Slowed down, might have some real instruments in it, and most of the time instead of rapping they're singing. So my sound had like a real sharp turning point. It was one day we decided to slow it down, and then from then on it's been pretty much trip hop. And doing so, I came to realize the whole thing that more than the producer title people give me. I'm not that, I don't consider myself that. So I was like, okay, so if I'm an artist, I gotta evolve even more. So I started implementing turntables into my music, and not in the typical ah yeah way. I'd get samples that are in the same key as the beat, and most of the time like isolated sounds. Like a lot of times I use vocals, so it would be just a cappella vocals in the key of the song, and then I'd add effects like reverb, and I'd filter it, so cut the lows out, just the highs have reverbs, and put that over the beat. And then eventually, more recently, I realized, oh okay, I can do that, but then I can also add sounds to my drum pads and trigger those while scratching over my beat. Now most of that I've been doing over my own solo stuff lately, but you know, thanks to evolution, I can bring that back to the Muslim music that I'm putting together with Messiah. So going from doing real basic hip-hop sampling over the course of about 10 years, I'm now at a point where I consider my music art, you know, and I'm looking for the next step now. It's like, I don't want to give too much away because I don't want people jacking my plans and the shit that I'm going to be doing in the next couple of years, but I'm trying to do more than just make a beat and send it out into the world and hopefully something happens with it. It's like, no, I'm trying to make pieces of art, and I guess I want to be more like Beethoven than Bieber, you know. So I'm trying to make something that's going to last a long time and be considered a fine piece of art, just like Picasso painting, you know. That's the other thing, is the evolution is not only in just your music, it's your mentality behind approaching music. So at first I was like, cool, I'm a producer, I got my own record label and all this kind of shit, but that's what everyone does when they start out. They give themselves these grand titles like producer and shit, and then of course everyone in the rap industry, they all have their own record labels. I think it's pretty stupid now, but it's a thing that everyone does, and it's probably something everyone has to go through, is that stage of like feeling like this is the professional way to do things. So I've pretty much scrapped that idea. I'm leaving the professional side to the business, where I've learned to focus on the art when I'm doing art, business when I'm doing business. So now that I'm focusing more on art and I'm not thinking about business while I'm doing that, I can be more expressive and creative and be an actual artist, not just someone that slaps beats together for rappers. You know, I don't even sell beats to rappers now, you know. Well, not in the sense that I used to. I used to just flick them off to anyone that want them, but now I'm more select. If you want to be part of a LOCRATES piece of art, then I'm gonna have to look at your work, have a chat with you, hopefully meet you in person and see whereabouts in this path you are and how driven you are to be an artist, not just a product. Evolution's a big thing and you're all gonna go through it, and if you've been doing it for a while, you've probably gone through a couple of stages already. For me, it's something I'm grateful for the understanding and the knowledge of how this actually works. Otherwise I'll just be slapping beats together and calling myself a producer. Well, now I'm an artist and I spend more time on one piece of music than I used to. I used to make about 80 beats a month, and a lot of them were trash. Like, where are they now? You know, I think I got them still, but half of them didn't get used. But the thing is, you want to keep building on top of your sound and trying all these different things. It's the same as, like, you know what a Picasso painting looks like, right? You understand that it's very abstract and it's got a certain style, the lines and the, you know, it's all, you know, Picasso when you see him. So that's what you want to do with your music, is like have a certain sound, but you still want to branch out. So this track that's playing behind me now, it's bringing back a little bit of the old roots. It's a bit more upbeat, a bit more aggressive, because lately all my stuff's been super chill. So yeah, I actually like this because it woke my brain up a bit. Like, oh, there's a new vibe. Even though it sounds like me, it's still a new vibe. I miss making like some hard semi-upbeat. It's not fully upbeat. It's not like it's not like club music, but it's more upbeat compared to what I'm doing, you know. And I got to keep pulling it back, the BPM back, just to fit my sound again, you know. Even if it is upbeat, I'll pull it back. So evolution's something to embrace. Like, you don't wanna get stale with it. You don't wanna just make the same shit over and over again. I mean, if you make, shit, I guess in the industry, in the real world, if you make a product and people like it, you replicate it over and over again until it stops selling. That's instant money for you, instant gratification, instant props. And to a point, maybe I do that, but at the end of the day, each piece is something I'm super happy with. It's my sound, it's my style, sounds like a LOCRATES beat. Yeah, I guess just don't be scared of evolution. It's a good thing. Just stay true to the sound that you're trying to create and who you are. Don't just make a club beat because there's an offer on the table to make a club beat. It's like, yeah, it's not really my thing. I mean, I guess in that sense still, it's like if you're asked, like say if I was asked to make a club beat, that's a good chance for evolving my capabilities, because I don't really do that. Now it's like, how would I make my LOCRATES sound into a club beat? But I guess what I mean to say is, if someone asks you to make a beat like that sounds like someone else, yeah, I wouldn't waste my time on it, you know, because you pretty much want your catalog, your body of work to be you. If in the future, you know, when you're long gone, a couple hundred years from now, and people look back at all your work, they want to see patterns, they want to see similarities between all the work, because that's what sounds like you. Anyway, thanks for the yarn. Share, subscribe, like, hit the bell, comment, and let me know what other kind of content you want to see on this channel. Cool. Thank you.